Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this birthday card. In particular, I want to show you how to get the most from your rectangle stitched framelits dies, which is what I've used here. If you have a look at mine, you can see that I've got the stitching on the inside and the outside, which is the beauty of these, one of the beauties rather, of these framelits. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I will give you the card pieces that you need first, but obviously when I cut this out, as long as I'm careful about the sizes that I use, I finish up with a negative and a positive. In fact, before I go any further, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean about that. I've done a few here in advance, so let's move these out of the way. Okay, so I started off with that piece of DSP and that piece of Whisper White, and then I die cut. So what I can do now is I can fit that one in there and I can fit that one in there. So I've got two cards. I've set myself a challenge because I've cut a few here to show you. I am going to do a card each and post on my blog. I think I've cut out 8 different ones. That was one. Let me just show you the other ones that I've done. This one I'm particularly pleased with because I've done it with, they've all got Whisper White, but this one I've used Crumb cake. Okay, so all of them I'm getting the double stitching on them, and they are gorgeous, really lovely. So look, let's do that one. And there is one that I've actually switched right around. Okay, I'm not sure that this will work if you've got a designer series paper that is largely white, and I'm not quite sure how this one's going to work either, because the first layer underneath this is going to be gold and then it'll be a white card base, which is fine, but the first layer under this is going to be white and I can't do a gold card, so not sure what I'm going to do about that one yet. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. Then there was this one, but don't you think this is absolutely superb? So you use both of them. I've got some pink on there. Where's that from? I have to make sure I cover that up when I'm using it. Okay, so this way I'm wasting absolutely nothing. This one's a little bit different because I turned it sideways. In fact, I think I meant it to go that way, didn't I? So I've got room at the bottom for the sentiment. But that's going to be great. Looking forward to doing something with that one. And then one more, just an ordinary one. Okay. So if you follow my blog, you'll see me working on these, and I will do 2 cards. Whether they will be identical cards, I don't know. They won't always be, because I know that, well, I'll show you with the card that I'm going to do today why I couldn't do it on this one. So for today, what I'm doing is, let's bring this one back again. I'll start off by telling you the card pieces you're going to need. A crumb cake card base, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres. And then you need 2 layers of Whisper White, and they should measure 3 7/8 inches by 5.5 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And then if you want to use the negative and the positive, like I'm going to do, you want 1 piece of Whisper White and 1 piece of your chosen designer series paper, and they should both measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 9.7 by 13.7 centimetres. You will also need some scrap Whisper White, which will be for the flowers, the butterflies and the sentiment. And there's a flower inside as well. Oh, and that. I forgot about that. But yes, and some soft sea foam, which is going to be for the sprigs. Okay, so I am going to do my stamping first, which is just this piece, isn't it? As there are so many pieces, I've done everything, but I've left one of everything to do. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the happy birthday, and the stamp set I'm using for the birthday and the flowers is All That You Are. So I'm going to be using that and the happy birthday. And that flower, they can both be die cut using the frosted bouquet which we had in the Christmas catalogue. So this is going to be brought forward. So those are the two dies that will do those two flowers. And that is what I'm using for this one here as well. And while I'm doing dies, I'll do this. For the happy birthday, I'm using the smallest layering oval die. And the butterflies are coming from Butterfly Gala stamp set, and they will be punched out using the Butterfly Duet punch or Duet Butterfly punch. And with this stamp set you get all the bits and pieces that you need for a butterfly. For example, you get the bodies for the small and large, you get the colouring in stamp, so it's two-step stamping, and you get the antenna for them as well. Brilliant stamp set that is. And then for the actual rectangles, I haven't got these fully prepared yet, only came the week before last. I'm going to be using that one, but that's everything that you get in there. Absolutely fabulous set. But you can see what I mean, how it's got the stitches on the inside and the outside. It's great. Right, so let's do the stamping first. Let's do the happy birthday, and I'm using black StazOn ink, and you can see I've started using the new these are the cling stamps where we get the labels that we can put on the back, and the stamps don't fall off, and it's lovely. I really am loving these. Happy birthday. That didn't stamp too well, did it? Let's do that again. That's much better. And let me bring this back so you can see what I need. Is that in shot? Yep. Okay, so the butterfly. Now what I'm doing with the butterfly is, because the butterfly, both the butterflies are done as one stamp. Okay, one stamp like that, rather, one stamp like that, and the punch will punch them both out at the same time. At first I tried just doing the little one because I don't need the big one, but it was a bit of an effort really, and I decided that what I'll do is I will stamp both of them, and I will just put this one that I don't need into my little drawer over there, and it's ready for when I decide that I do want to use the large butterflies. So you need 3 of the butterflies. I've already done 2. Didn't do that very well either. I think I've got to re-ink my pad again. Let's turn it up the other way because that's the way it's going to go into the punch. I won't actually throw that one away. Well, not until I've tried colouring it with my black marker pen. Oh, much better. So as I say, you want 3 of those, and then with the flower you need 4 of these, I've already done 3 of them. And the tiny leaf, that one, which is that one there, you need 5 of these. Right, right, I'm going to do it that way, because to me, it looks like a dolphin. I said that looks like a dolphin. Stretch your imagination a bit, but it does. Either a dolphin or maybe a whale. I have been stamping the body onto the butterfly before I've punched it out, but somebody said it's a lot easier to do it, do the stamping once it's been punched, so that's what I'm going to try and do. And I know I said I was going to try this after the video, but I'm not. I'm going to show you me trying it. See if I can colour this in. I don't know how much you can see from where you are, but let me just bring it up to the screen so you can see. It's largely the bit that goes across the centre there that's not very good. And bits up here. I'm not sure that I can do the ones up there, but going across the middle I should be able to do. It's a question of being able to do it without going over the lines. Or at least without going over the lines too much. I think that bit's okay. So you may be able to get away with it, depends how faint yours is and the areas where they are. I'm not going to try it all now because it needs time spent on it. For the leaf I'm using soft sea foam, and this does need to be fussy cut. Okay, so that's my leaf. My flowers I'm going to be using, what did I do? I used this, which is Lovely Lipstick. Now what I do with this is I colour each petal just first like that. I don't go right into the centre, I keep that white. As you know, I'm not much of a colourer. I always say that the way that I do my colouring is best described as quick and dirty. Right, okay, now that I've gone round like that, I make sure that I've gone as close to the centre as reasonable. And then I go round onto these black lines again so that I get this outside darker than what I've already done. And I just leave a little bit of lighter pink in the middle. I'll bring this up to show you in a jiffy. Okay, so round the outsides again, leave some lighter pink in the middle. As you can see, I don't spend a lot of time fussing over this. Well, that's quite a big one, this one. Also, when you're doing this, if you find on one that you go over the edge and you think, oh no, can't use that, just remember that these 3 flowers are overlapping each other. So wherever you've gone over the edge, you may well be able to cover it up. Yep, I've done that. Right, and that little bit there, the little triangle bit, I just colour that all in. Now, because I don't want to leave this as all white, I just take my pen and do little lines. I am trying for very thin lines, but when I bring it up to you, you'll see that I don't succeed in that. But it does look speckled in the middle. And then what I do is I just draw 2 or 3 lines right the way through the colour on each petal. Okay, so you see how much mingling I've got there. Can you see that? I hope so. Okay, so that's my flower done, and then for the butterfly I used Flirty Flamingo in the middle on these parts of her wings. None of this colouring takes very long at all. I have been very pleasantly surprised using soft sea foam on this, because it does come out quite a bit darker. If you just, like this for example, that's quite a bit darker than I would have expected it to go. But for me that was brilliant. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, so I'm just going around the outside, the middle line, because the dots are the very outside. And then I'm going to go over that again to get it just a bit darker, and also to catch up on the white bits I've left behind. You may not be able to see them from where the camera is. So there's that one. And then the soft sea foam, I'm just going to colour these little white dots. Go over it a couple of times. Obviously I'm not going to colour the big butterfly because I'm not using it for this project. And then just to make sure that this has got some character to it, yes, Flirty Flamingo, I'm just going to do some lines coming out just to give a bit of extra shading in there. Okay, and then before I show you, I'm going to stamp the body. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong way with this, but I do tend to do the fattest part at the top. There we go. Probably should have done a bit higher, but never mind. So I said once you'd be punched it out, didn't I? Don't pay any attention to myself. So that's it, isn't it? So that can be die cut. I think that can be die cut. That's a punch. Let's do the punching first. Yes, I should have done the body afterwards. although I think I'm going to be lucky this time. The punch isn't touching the body at all. Just make sure I've got the big one lined up as well. Oops. There we go, that's what they look like once they're punched out. So you can see how easy it's going to be to put the body on there, and also you can see that you're going to get it in the right place. I was a bit luckier than I thought I was going to be. Right, did I bring everything? Yes I did. So did I bring everything up close? I said I was going to. Right, yeah, I think I did. Right, let's clear the decks, and then I can bring my big shot up. Let's move that one out of the way. Don't need that. Right, so let's do the flower first. And the good thing with the flower, you need 4 of these for this card. And in the dies, there are 2 that will do this flower. So you only need to crank it through twice for the 4 flowers. Let's take that one as well, one here. So how I line this up is that straight edge there on the flower is that straight edge there on the die. In fact, I'm going to take this off to the side to get it lined up. Right, and also I might as well do the happy birthday as well. I said I was using the smallest one here, didn't I? And just make sure that flower doesn't move. Right. Oops, it did. This might be a job for the post-it notes. Right, you stay. Let's try you again. Right. So there's the flower. That's the greeting. This is my little card with all my bits and pieces on. Let's put it forward, take a sip. So the only thing I need off of here is that's fussy cutting. Right, now these 2 bits. This is the fun bit. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces, not that one. Not that one. That's it. This one. Right, same size. And I do these both together. You don't have to. The die's quite happy going through both of them, but as far as positioning them, it really doesn't make any difference at all. Not sure I've done that very straight. Well, it's JanB straight. Right, that's the die. Pop it on top of both. Now the only thing I do is I do check that I've got that more or less straight. And that normally comes to, yep, 1.2. Right, so everything else must be alright. As long as I've got a gap down here for my sentiment. In fact, that doesn't look very much, does it? Oh yes, that's fine. This will cut both of these pieces in one go. But if you're using like the foil designs that I showed you, I would recommend that you just, as soon as you've popped out one side, bring it back again. Okay, but it doesn't really need it when you're doing this. Now I think I've finished with the big shot, so I'll move that. No, I haven't. I know what I haven't done. I need another one of these. I've done 3. And on this one I do tend to use wax paper. And now I have lost the die, which is extremely clever, isn't it? Oh, here it is. I'd like to say I put it down here for safekeeping, but I didn't. Okay, so just pop that on there. There we go. Let's move that back and I can get this. There we go. Now I have finished with my big shot. Right, now I was saying earlier that I don't think all combinations are going to work. I was going to show you what I mean. Right, first of all, to get these two to separate, first of all take the outside one and pull it away from your die gently. Okay, and then you will see you've got stitches on both of them. And then on this one, use the side of your thumb just to push it out. Okay, and then you will find you've got stitching on both sides. So what my plan is to have, I've got them upside down, I know that, but they're going to be going like that. Now the one I'm working on today is I'm going to be using this, and the reason is because these almost disappear on there, whereas on here they're going to show up brilliantly. Okay, there is soft sea foam in here, but very, very gently, and that's what the colours are that I'm using, but you can see why I wouldn't use that. If I wanted to do the same design on there, because the flowers would look good, I might change my green. In fact, I think I might have just talked myself into that. I'll redo this, I'll do this side with this colour, but I'll use a darker green. Okay, that's the plan. Right, let's bring this one over. Let's put the die over there. Right. Just gently pull the wax away, wax paper, and there we go. Right, so that I don't need. I'll put that over there for safekeeping. This I do need. So I am going to adhere this not that one, onto that one. So that one goes in there. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do on here is something I haven't done before, but it was recommended to me by somebody who watched one of my videos. I can't remember whether she was actually watching my latest video or not, but she certainly left her comment in this past week in the comments box underneath my video. And what she said was, the way she uses the tape is she uses just one piece. Okay, so that's like one piece there. Where's my pot gone? Here it is. And what she does is she gets her top layer lined up. And when she's happy, she lets it go down. Now I can see how this works. First time I've done this, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so she does that, and then to get the rest of it done, she uses Tombow. As she said, it helps to save on the tape. Yeah. Well, I think I'd like to have a bit more practice at it first. But I can see how it works. Definitely. So thank you for that tip. There we go. Otherwise I would have used tape all the way down on that. I wouldn't have worried that that wouldn't be stuck down. It would be down there, which is close enough. Right, so now I'm going to put this bit in the middle. Obviously you could use dimensionals on this, but then I think you lose the other stitching, especially if you've got the stitching on the DSP, which is not the most obvious. But I really, really love this double stitching. Really love it. I'm going to adhere these pieces onto my card as well now. Oh, and I didn't do the sprig, did I, for the inside flower? But that's okay, I can do that in a jiffy. There we go, there's that. And put this one. Right, I'll get my silicone mat over, because I'm going to adhere these ones on first. And I'm going to use Tombow. And I'm just going to put a little dot on each of the, I don't know what to call these, like pom-poms, if you like. Come on, that's it. That's better. I was watching a video this morning on YouTube done by a demonstrator, Stampin' Up demonstrator in the States, Kelly Aitchison, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was all about joining Stampin' Up, but whereas we call people hobbyists over here, she called them discount shoppers. And I thought, you know, I think that's a lot more true than hobbyist. I think it hits the nail on the head, because that's exactly what it is. It's a discount shopper. So if you don't like the idea of being a hobbyist, maybe you feel happier being a discount shopper. I'd love to have you join my team. As you know, we are having a very special promotion for new recruits during celebration, and that is that you can, for your £99 joining fee, you can choose £170 worth of free product, and then everything that you buy after that you get a 20% net discount on everything you buy. Absolutely amazing offer. There are actually two options. The second option is oh crikey, how much was the second one? Was it 100? No, it wasn't 129. About 126, I think. You could have, if you paid 126, you could have the craft bag that demonstrators were able to buy during December. I bought one and honestly it is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to team training tomorrow and I don't have to do anything to get myself ready because I've got my bag packed all it's just sitting there ready all the time just to pick up and go. It's absolutely brilliant. If you'd like to know more details of it, email me at janb@janbcards.com. Right, I haven't been adhering these in any particular pattern or order. I have allowed them to go off the edge because I didn't want it too uniform. But I didn't let it go too far because, as I said before, it's not very obvious. Where's my scissors? Let me just fussy cut my dolphin. Now when I was cutting these the first time, I was very careful and I went right up to the point and then I came back down again as a point, but it looked more like ears on my flowers, so now I just turned the bend so it's a little bit rounded. And don't worry if you've got a little white bit by the dolphin's mouth, because that bit's going to be adhered to the back of one of the flowers. Right, so these are the 4 flowers. That's the one that went over the edge a bit, so that one I want to hide that bit. And these are my butterflies. When you've got more than one dolphin, is it a pod of dolphins? I know it is with whales. Right, first of all I think I should put that on, and I'm going to use dimensionals to put everything else on, I think. I have one there. Oops. You want to go on there? Okay. There we go. Tweezers. Make sure that's in the centre, look straight. I think I just use one large. Oh, that's got to be adhered on the inside. Use just one large. I'm not going to worry about fussy cutting though, or not fussy cutting, but cutting bits and pieces off. Not for a video. And then 2 of the flowers have 2 leaves and the other one has 1 leaf, and I tend to do Tombow with that, so I'll just put a little blob there, the one that I want hidden. Let's see how I did these. So if you want to do that, it's got to be the first one down. Oh, that's good. So let's put the first one down had 2 leaves on it. Right, so remember to put the glue on the front of your leaf, because it's going to go behind there. Okay. And tilt it slightly, just to make sure that I do get that bit covered up. Maybe that's a bit too much, turn it round. Right, and then the next one goes below, and that has 2 more leaves on it, and they go down towards the south a bit. I've already taken that off. Oh, come on, tweezers. Are you staring at them as you're hiding under the scissors? Alright, that's it. I cover up the bit that I didn't want to be seen. But I want to come down here a bit. I'm watching these areas to make sure that I don't finish up with any really large white gaps. Oh, go back. That's because I didn't actually stick them down. So return that so that I've got some leaves over there. That's good. Right, and the last one's only got 1. So I'm going to have that coming out here. So that's sideways. Yep, I think that's looking good. Now I've got to do the butterflies, and I adhered them straight onto the card, but I did fold the body on both sides so that I finished up with that flat bit there to put the glue on. And of course we now have the antennae for this. So what I did was I decided where I wanted these to go, but the positions were always somewhere where I could get the... Oh, that's not sticking. Did I not push you down? Oh, alright. So that when I put this down, it's going to actually have the antenna. I don't want it to go over the green bits. So if I do there, a little pencil mark. Oh, get off. And I'm just going to do that so that I am... Oh, hold on, let me bring this down a bit first. Okay. So I go right onto that pencil mark. That's good. And oh, I wonder if I can use that. Got enough left? without sticking my finger in it. Yes, my fingers got stuck. That's better. Not all of his body is touching the card because of the green bit underneath it. Right, I'm going to have one on here. So where should we have the other one? I think there. Okay, so I'm going to make my antenna come there. Right, let me bring this back down again. You might see my head this time. All the time I'm hesitating, my ink is drying. Oh, I've gone on to the green bit. Oh well, we find out what happens. Oh, it all went on, that was good. I expected there to be a white line, a gap between where it's on the Whisper White and when it goes up onto the soft sea foam. But obviously not. Which way up is this? Right. Oh. I have to find something to cover that up. I don't know what it is. It's not pencil, is it? No. I've got a mark on there somehow. Right, where's my other one gone? Now what I did with this, because I don't want to cover up the happy birthday, I am going to put the antenna right on the edge there, and then I'll put the butterfly on dimensional. There we go. So just take a tiny piece of dimensional. I wonder how much. What I think I'll do is I've got a short piece here, so I'm going to leave a tiny gap up there, pop it on. How much have I got? Oh, I was lucky. Nothing showing. I was going to say I'm going to trim a bit off whatever was showing from underneath, but there isn't any. So then I can pop that onto there. There we go. So, just the inside of my card. And what I used, excuse me, is this sprig punch here, and oh, I don't have too much left here, do I? Can I do it? Whew. There we go. So what I'm going to do with this is cut it off that way. I always see reindeer antlers if I look at it like that, so I tend to take them in a different direction. Something like that will do. Something like that will do very nicely. Oops, put my scissors in the glue there. Which way round was this? Yep, that's it. So put your glue there. Oh, I can stick it all down, can't I? Because we're inside a card. Okay. Let's put that one there. My flower is going to come about there. So this one I need about there. So those two have got to be kissing. Oh, I've got some glue coming through. I know I brought some kitchen towel over. It was that one, wasn't it? Okay, now pop this on. I should have cut the stems a bit shorter. Never mind. There we go. So there's today's card. So what I will try and do is, while I'm uploading the video to YouTube, I will work on the other card so that I've got the work on this one. I will try this design and it will be on my blog tomorrow. Okay, so you can see what the reverse was. I suspect, as I said, I'll probably use a darker green there. But there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project and I hope you give it a try. And I really hope that you do use your dies like this so that you do get the best out of them. Obviously not always, but you know, entertain the idea when you're working on projects. That's one of the things you could be using. Anyway, if you have any questions or any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help and I do enjoy reading your feedback. Depending on which device you're watching this video on, to open the box below the video, you will either see on the left hand side, there'll be underneath some writing, it'll say show more. You just click on that. If you don't have that, on the right hand side you will see two down arrows and you need to click on the second, the lower arrow, and that will open up the box below. Any problems, let me know. I'm always happy to help. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here, there'll be a link to my 24/7 online shop in the box below. I'd really appreciate your business. And if you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button that you can see in the right hand corner of the screen there, and also make sure that you tick the bell. That will make sure that you get the notifications. And finally, don't forget, there is a special really big recruitment drive going on during celebration. If you'd like to join my team are the Superstars, I'd love to have you on board. Please get in touch and I can answer all your questions for you. Discount shopper or a business builder, you're welcome. I'd love to have you. Email me at janb@janbcards.com. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.